if you want a good marriage, you have to learn how to properly communicate. There's no such thing as a perfect marriage. Hey, I'm Pastor Josh, and welcome from my living room into yours. Hope that you're having a good week. So let's get going to the message. So, growing up, nearly every single day, grew up with arguing in my house. Nearly every single day. I could probably tell you maybe a handful of days that there wasn't any arguing in my house growing up. It was either with my stepmom and dad arguing and yelling with each other, or it was the parents yelling and arguing with the kids. Something was always happening. Now, there were 6 kids in the house, and one bathroom. So you can imagine how stressful that is. I have 3 kids and life is a little stressful. So in a certain degree, I understand. But at the same time, is if you want a good marriage, you have to learn how to properly communicate. And yelling and arguing doesn't always solve the problem. Actually, sometimes it causes the problems to get worse. Because if I told you that no yelling and arguing was ever going to happen in your marriage, I would be lying to you. Because let's face it, there's no such thing as a perfect marriage. Arguments and yelling happen. But today I want to tell you why they shouldn't happen and how you can better communicate with your spouse. James 1:19, and it says this: "My dear brothers and sisters, take note of this. Everyone should be quick to listen, slow to speak, and slow to become angry." I think it's safe to say that in today's day and age, that we really aren't quick to listen and slow to speak and slow to become angry. No, possibly, actually most likely, it's the opposite. We're quick to speak and is quick to become angry and slow to listen. You don't believe me? Go to your favorite social media website. I don't care what social media platform you're on, and post anything that has any bit of controversy to it, and see what happens very quickly in your news feed. You and I both know the answer to that. Point proven. We're in this day and age where we just want to speak real quick. We want to make our point known, even if it's anger. And unfortunately, that's bled into our marriages. That culture has woven its way into our marriages. And that's what James is talking about here, is that shouldn't be how it is. A steadfast marriage is quick to listen and slow to speak. Tongue has the power of life and death. Those who love it will eat its fruit. Now, Toby Mac. Many of you know who Toby Mac is if you're watching this. If you don't, he's a very famous, prominent Christian rapper, Christian artist. He does a little bit of everything nowadays. But he's fairly on the older side. And one of his older songs is called Speak Life. Second part of the bridge of the song, he says this: "Mountains crumble with every syllable. Hope can live or die." Your tongue, that little thing in your body that does a lot for your body, does a lot for your marriage. Your tongue can either bring life or death into your marriage. And when you become quick to listen and slow to become angry, then you bring life into your marriage. This little tongue plays a huge part in your marriage. Those who love it will eat its fruit. You are often told about this second half in a bad manner. We're told that, it's the tongue can bring life or death, and those who love it eat its fruit, because they're talking about death. You're saying bad things about people. You don't eat the fruit of death. But remember, the opposite is also true here. Is if the tongue has the power of life and death, then the tongue has the power of life and death in your marriage. That means then you also eat the fruit of life in your marriage when you control your tongue. You and I both know how that goes, okay? We all know how that can be. We're talking about marriage here, okay? You can eat the fruits of having a good marriage when you're slow to speak and slow to become angry.